All right, rock and roll, you guys.
All right, guys, we're back in April, 1/3 through the year. How's everybody doing? You doing okay?
Good.
Good.
All right. Before we get started, does anybody have any announcements or anything to say? Then now's the time while I get my little document magnified where I can see a little bit.
Well, we already sang the song, so. Mhm.
Yeah, John is pretty good with the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're recording on John's iPhone again because it was very successful last time, so that worked out really well. So
Yeah, I had put myself on mute. I'm gonna go back on mute, but I'll hear you if you need to
okay.
get my attention. That shouldn't
Thanks
be a
again,
problem.
John. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, if without further ado, we can get started. So I got a couple of items in the news, and the first one is obviously what version of iOS you need to be on, and that is currently 17.4.1. There will be a 17.5 coming out very soon, within a week or two, before the next class. So if it's somewhere between then and now, I'll take a look at it and tell you if it's safe to update. I'll give it the kick of the tires and make sure it works okay before I tell you guys. Otherwise, you can try it. It should be okay, but if you want, I'll test it first and give the okay if that's all right with you guys.
Manny, this is Maggie. Mine came up this morning and I put it on with no trouble.
Oh, it's already out, a 17.5? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was on this
Wow.
morning.
Okay, I knew it was going to be in a day or two, and when I checked this morning, it wasn't available for mine, so it must have did it right before the release. All right, well, that's great. Now we know. Thank you, Maggie. So I'll take a look at it. I think we should be okay, but if you want, I'll test it first and get back to you guys. Make sure it's okay. So thanks, Maggie, for that. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
The second thing that's come up in the news, it's not really iPhone related, but it is computer related. And Microsoft is finally going to drop support for Windows 10. It's going to be here, not in the very distant future when they're going to drop that. And for continued support for 10, the rumor is, or what's happening out there is they're going to be charging you to keep it updated after its end of life kind of thing. So what they're trying to do is to get you onto Windows 11, um, which may or may not be a good thing. But Windows should still work. The only problem is that unless it's real major, they're not going to patch it for you anymore. That's what happens when they put these things to pasture. So it's been out for about 10 years. So that's a pretty long time in the world of technology. It's almost an eternity almost. So that's what's happening. So those of you, and me included, who have Windows 10 machines will have to come up with a decision to either stay on it and be very vigilant and careful, or upgrade and get the latest protections that are discovered. You know, new threats that are discovered can be patched. So I do have 11 on a test machine of mine, and it works great. I haven't tried it with JAWS, but I'm sure it works great with JAWS for the JAWS users. But it does work very well. It's a very, very good version of Windows, but it may or may not cost you to upgrade. I don't know that. If anybody needs me to research that further, I can have that ready for the next class and give you all the gory details if you like. So that's for Windows 10 users. And then the next thing on my guy, yours truly, me, I'm helping out Sunvan now. I got in contact with them
Oh,
last week and I reported on the accessibility level of the surveys. So now I'm in contact with two of their senior staff and they're having me take a look at the surveys that they put out to see if they're accessible. And in fact, that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'll be taking their latest survey, which they haven't released yet, but they sent me a link to it. And I'll be testing that out and tell them whether it's compatible with iPhones and JAWS and all this good stuff. So that's my latest little gig with them. It's just a helping hand. It's not a business thing or anything like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately with my time outside of everything else. So more to come on that when I hear more. And the final thing is that if you haven't already done this, Savvy is giving out these packages with accessible equipment in it, like monitors and thermometers and all kinds of stuff, canes, keyboards. And you can just call them at 520-795-1331. Tell them you're interested in one of those, and they will take your information and talk to you about.
Manny, will
how
you
to-
give out that phone number again?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 520-795-1331. And they're gonna give you like
What's the name?
I'm
What's the
sorry,
name?
it's Savvy,
What is the
SAA.
name?
Acceptable medical bag.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay,
And
Barbara-
they can mail it to you for free matter for the blind, Maggie.
okay.
It includes everything you need. It's kind of a nice thing that they're
Okay.
doing. So
Thank you.
So did you call on it? Did you call on it, Manny?
I sure did, and got it all set up. So that's kind of want to let you guys know that, and that's kind of what I had for the news this time. Not much happening in the big news cycle because the big event's coming later in the year in June. The big event. There's going to be some big stuff going on with Apple at that time. Right now, we're just kind of coasting, and until then, just minor things. So, any questions on any of the news items that I went over? All right, so that's it. We're gonna go down to emerging technologies. Let me see here. Okay, so iOS 18, which is the version that's coming up that they're gonna release later this year, are gonna have a few accessibility updates. So they're gonna introduce some more fonts. So if you're increasing the font sizes on your phone to see things, or if you need a cleaner font versus fonts that have different things like serifs or whatever, you can then pick those fonts, and then your phone might be a little bit easier to read. You know, it being a small screen to begin with. If you get good fonts, clean fonts in there, it might be a little bit easier to read. So that's going to be coming. That's rumored to come. It hasn't been announced. So let me put that in there as a rumor that they're working on this. So that's one good thing for low vision people. The second guy is going to be what is it? Voice. Oh, they're going to put more kind of voice control shortcuts for voiceover and accessibility. And so instead of going on your phone and doing gestures, you're going to be able to control things with your voice more. They're going to add more of that in there. Kind of like, let's say if you got the screen magnification on and you want to zoom it in and out, you'll be able to do that with your voice instead of doing a gesture to do that. And there'll be some other things, but it's not detailed yet, so I don't know what exactly is going to be included in that piece of it. And then the final thing is this whole live speech stuff. If you remember when we talked about live speech, this is the thing where you can record your voice, and then you can have the phone participate like in a meeting, and then you can say things in a meeting with that voice engine. Let's say if you have a voice problem or you're sick or whatever, they're going to add phrases that you can store in there, like common phrases, and then you can just call them up and it'll say those whole phrases without you having to type them in every time. Because the way it works is if you're in a meeting and you want it to say something for you, like if you can't talk for some reason, you would type in a statement like C spot run, and then it would say C spot run to the group. But this will allow you to store these sentences and then call them up when you need it, like thank you or whatever, just some canned stuff that's easier to fetch. How they implement this is still to be determined, because again, these are just rumors of what they're doing. So that's going to be part of the big AI initiative that they're working on in the next version of iOS. So that's what I got for emerging technology. So any questions on any of those? Or are we good to go? All right, guys. We're gonna end early tonight. We'll go like this. Let me see. My first topic. You guys are gonna love this. All right. So, how many people like shoes out there and have a lot of shoes in their closet? I know Patty
I
does.
do.
So,
I
as-
don't.
so as blind people, as people with low vision, if any of these shoes they get mixed up. How do we separate them ourselves unless we have somebody with vision? Well, there's an answer to that. You have an application called Be My Eyes. So what I'm going to demo for you guys is I've got some dress shoes. I got a pair of shoes that are the same, and then I pulled another shoe out that's the same style, but a slightly different color. And we're going to see if Be My Eyes can distinguish those. So let's say if you're looking at them, trying to sort them in your house and on the floor, and they're all mixed up, you have a way of sorting them, getting them together where you can find out which ones match, which ones don't. So that might be a good function.
Betty, I was gonna say, it's Maggie, and it works beautifully if you are on the right angle. And I have
Correct.
to take my shoes out of the closet to make that work.
Correct. And that's a very good segue into this part. So what you got to do, like anything else that we've been doing with this Be My Eyes and Seeing AI, the staging of what you're doing is so important. And like I said last week, and I repeated before, and at risk of being redundant here, I'm going to say it again. You got to get a nice white light source, not too yellow, not too bright, not too dim. Have it set up above the thing that you're doing so it mimics sunlight coming down and it reduces shadows. And then you, with your phone, should be at least 1 foot away. And if you can't really see it, you can put the phone's camera right in the center of the thing you're doing and then just pull it back straight. And that'll keep it lined up in the frame. And then you can do your recognition. So the first part of this Be My Eyes demo, I'm going to take 2 of the shoes. I think they're going to be matching shoes. I'm not sure because I can't really see them myself. So I don't know what the first result's going to be, but we'll find out. So I'm going to grab 2 shoes. They're on the floor here. Just give me a second here. Where are you? Okay, so I got the shoes. For you sighted people, they look like this. They're black dress shoes. And I'm going to put them under my little lamp here so I can recognize them with the application. So I'm going to put them down right together. I think they're the same, but we'll find out for sure when I use the recognition software. All right, so let me get into my phone.
6:50 p.m. to notificate. Cal.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call up the program. Siri, open Be My Eyes.
Starting take picture button.
So the cool thing about Be My Eyes is that it's ready to go. All I got to do is press the capture button, which fortunately it puts focus right on that button. The hard part about Be My Eyes, like I've said before, is it doesn't tell you it doesn't give you any audio clue about what's going on, whether things are in the frame or whatever. But I solved this by taking my phone's camera, which is up here on your left, if you're looking at the screen here, and that's going to be put right in the center of the 2 shoes, and I'm going to bring it back, and then I'm going to hit the button. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Put it right in the center. I'm going to bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back. Hopefully we can get it. And then we hit the button.
Take picture. Take picture. Analyzing picture. Please wait.
So it's analyzing.
The picture shows a pair of black leather dress shoes with laces on a wooden surface. The shoes have a classic design with decorative perforations, broguing, along the seams and edges. The laces are untied and the shoes appear to be well worn with some visible creases and slight scuff marks on the leather. The background includes a desk with a few items such as a headset on a stand. A part of the
Okay, so you
Wow.
get the gist. So I still don't know if those shoes are the same. All I know is that there's a pair of shoes there, 2 of them. That's what it said.
Mm.
So how you can figure out if it's the same is you go to the AI section of this, which is, where is it? Right here.
Ask more button.
Ask more button, which is right under the results. Okay. You go in there.
Ask more button. Message. Text message. Text.
Hope this works. It worked before when I tried it. Let's see if it works this time. Let's see. So I'm in this chat message thing, and I'm just going to ask it, do the shoes match? And we'll see if it can tell me. Do the shoes match?
Inserted. Do the shoes match? Send message button. Send. Please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Be My AI. Yes, the shoes match. They are a pair with the same design and size.
Okay, so it not only looks at the design, it looks at the size, the color, everything else. So now I'm going to take one of these shoes off, and I'm going to put the one that I know doesn't match, and we're going to run the same test. Because when you're in your closet doing this, and you have your closet light on and you're doing on the floor, you know, you're going to have to do this maybe a few times if you can't see the difference in colors. Now I picked a shoe, the one that doesn't match, that's got the same kind of design, but a slightly different color, okay? Like a slightly lighter color. Let me just find the other shoe here. I think I needed to have to find the shoe on the floor first. Okay. All right. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna get out of this chat window, first of all. So when you're done with the chat window, there's a thing up here.
More button. End chat button.
End chat. So I'm gonna do that.
End chat alert. Are you sure you want to end this? No. Yes.
I'm gonna
button.
yes on that.
Message. Be My AI. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, they're collecting information. So I say, yeah, it was good.
I had a good chat.
A
button.
good chat. Wonderful
Starting
chat.
camera. Take
Now, now I'm back to the camera, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the mismatched pair and see what happens. Okay, let me try that now. So I'm going to do the same thing, put it right in the center, pull it back, do it about 12, 15 inches, something like that. So I know that I have it in the frame.
Take picture. Take picture. Analyzing picture.
Here we go.
Please wait. The picture shows a pair of men's dress shoes on a wooden surface. The shoe on the left is light brown suede with dark brown laces, while the shoe on the right is polished black leather with black
And there it is.
Yay.
Told you.
Yeah.
So Be My Eyes is great for stuff like this. Whatever you can think of to look at and compare, don't strain your eyes. Don't get these magnifiers out and strain. Let the technology do the work. So I think
Manny,
this is,
it's Maggie.
yeah,
It's Maggie again.
Yeah.
One thing that I had a problem with, maybe it's just me being stupid, I don't know. But I found that when I got the shoes out, I used it on dresses actually.
mhm.
And sometimes it gets foggy and you get almost a double image. And if that happens, all you need to do is move where your light source is stronger.
Yes, that's right.
But it'll come in and you'll get one shoe, you'll get two with one superimposed over the other.
Yeah, you have to be, that is the critical part of this. And it's probably maybe the hardest part of this is staging this stuff, whatever you're looking at, what shoe, whatever object it is you're looking at, making sure that it has plenty of light, but not too much light, because too much light will blast into the camera and wash it out. But too little light won't illuminate it enough to be recognized. So it's like I said last month, I said I think a 60-watt bulb about 2 feet away, 2 feet above it, pointing down over it, directly over it, with one of these lamps with a reticulating arm or whatever, and then just have it right over the staging area. Put your stuff under there, and then just zoom back, get back about a foot away from it, and you should have a 90-something% capture rate. Yeah, and you can do it in your hand. You can do it in your hand.
Manny, it's Patty.
Yeah.
Remember when we were doing it when you were doing it with my shoes, I tested, you know, because I had one, they're exactly the same, and one was black, one was brown. and it was able to describe that one of my shoes had one of the shoe had more what is it when you run into things?
Scuffs?
Yes.
Yes.
So it gave me that information, which I thought it was awesome because I'm like, oh, that's good, that I can't see if I mean, like you said on yours, it was very well worn.
Yeah, I mean, these shoes are 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah,
and
but I
they
mean,
perform everywhere.
it's
Mhm.
good that it gives us that extra information. We don't know if they're scratched or not,
That's right. It's a
So
very
that was
good
awesome. I was
observation.
very impressed.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions or comments about that, or want me to do something else with the Be My Eyes recognition? So, if not, just remember that this is something you really want to have in your tool set, because like I've been preaching all this year. This is like the 4th class I've been demoing stuff with Be My Eyes. It's free and it's great. What more can you ask for? Basically. So,
Yeah.
all right. If there's no questions, I will continue on. I hope that helps some people, with their shoes and whatnot, or even their clothes. You could, before I continue, you could even have it look at, like Maggie was saying, clothes. If you put it in the right lighting, you kind of neutral lighting, you can get a true color of something, or you can compare 2 colors with this technology. And maybe I'll do that next time. Maybe I'll get 2 things and compare the colors and see if we can get better color analysis out of this. So it's amazing that it can take the shoes and figure out if they're different, even if they're very very close in design and color. I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yep.
all right. The next topic on my list is, don't ever put your iPhone in rice. Okay, I don't know where that started or why. I understand that rice will dry things out, but it is not good for your phone to do that. Not because it wouldn't work, but because particulates of rice can get into the ports, the smallest pieces that are not whole grains. And that will cause you problems. Okay, so don't do that. If your iPhone ever gets wet, if you drop it in the tub or whatever, just take it out, put it on a table. Don't blow water into the ports. Just kind of lightly shake it so that water that's there comes out, and then just let it sit on a table and let it dry. You can have a fan blowing air over the unit, but not into the unit. You do not want to force water into any crevice or any openings that might be in the ports inside of the phone, okay? Or in the microphone or the speaker. You can damage the speaker that way by getting it wet and forcing water through it. You just want it to evaporate, let it go for a few hours, and it should be fine, completely dry. So never put it in rice. That is a fallacy that works. That is not good. So that's one thing I wanted to make sure everybody knew. And
Manny,
never, oh, go ahead, sorry.
they don't want you to use the heat source on it either.
That's right.
Your hair dryer.
No heat source, no fan forced air in there, no Q-tips, no nothing. Don't be jamming anything with those ports except the charging cable when it's nice and dry. And because this is a very expensive piece of equipment, and you can easily damage it if you force stuff in there. It's very durable, but if water gets forced in it, or if it gets very hot, that's not very good for it at all. So just be very careful. Treat it like the piece of glass that it is, and be careful with it. That's all. Just for that. So any questions on that? All right.
They recommend not keeping it in the car.
Yeah, like any
The
piece
heat
of
can hurt it in a car. The inside
that
of a
noise?
car can get
Ooh.
really, really hot.
Sounds
well,
like birds.
like any piece of electronics, you don't want to have it in sitting in the sun. This is not a unit that it does good with heat. Electronics and heat are enemies. So you don't want the way that the iPhone cools itself is it uses its case, the metal part, not the case you put on, but the metal part, as a heat sink. And what that means is that the CPU that's doing all the work inside there generates heat, but it's dissipated by the body of the phone. And so you don't want the sun hitting it. You want to have it in shade as much as possible. And I don't mean like if you go outside and you have it in your hand and you're moving it around your hand, that's not the end of the world, but you don't want to lay it down on something where the sun is just blasting on it. You don't want to put it near magnetic speakers or in extreme cold or heat or in too much humidity, like in a bathroom that's full of, water vapor. That's not good for it. So you want to just treat it very gingerly if you can, and it'll last much longer that way. So
Yeah,
if-
remember, Manny, remember I told you I was outside when doing the gardening, and it got completely black, and Siri said that it was shutting down due
Right.
to overheating.
I was just going to
Like,
mention
whoa.
that right
Yeah.
when you said that.
Yeah, that was scary.
So the phone has built-in
3
protections.
p.m.
The phone has built-in protections, and what it does is when it gets too hot, whether through heat from the ambient temperature outside, the sun hitting it, or its own heat generation from doing a lot of work, it'll reach a threshold temperature. When it hits that temperature, to save itself, it shuts itself completely down. You could be in the middle of a phone call, watching a video, and it shuts it right down because it needs to cool that processor off before it burns up. Meaning that not burn like a flame, but burn to where it doesn't work anymore. So that it's a thermal shutdown that it does. So just so you know that it tries to protect itself for you. So thank you, Patty, for that. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
Okay, if there is no more questions on any of those two topics that I just went over, I wanted to go over the Easy Voice Recorder app. We talked about this maybe a year, maybe two ago, I don't know. This is the app that I use exclusively for taking voice memos. It's not a Apple app. It's made by another company. It's free and it works great. It's simple and it's easy to use. So you download it from the App Store and it's called Easy and then Voice and then Recorder. And I'm gonna find it on my phone and show you what the icon looks like. Hang on a second.
7:04 p.m.
Let's go here.
Be my odds. Calendar, Tuesday, Be my odds, closing Be my odds.
Close that, and then I'm gonna go over to the page.
Search, page 1 and 4, page 3. Calendar, Tuesday, Easy Voice
So Easy Voice Recorder, for those people with vision, I got the phone up and it actually has a highlight around it, a square around it. So the icon looks like that. And to describe the icon with the thing, it looks like a blue microphone, a drawn microphone, not a real picture one, but a drawn microphone inside of a white background. That's what it's called. So that's what it looks like. So Easy Voice Recorder. I'm going to open it up.
Easy Voice Recorder. 7:05 p.m.
Okay, so when you open it up, it's ready to record. All you got to do is go down to the record button. So I'll do that right now. You swipe to the right.
Dynamic Island. Cellular.
I go down here. Where is it? Down here.
Record button is ready to M4 recording 123.
So what it does, it puts a name of a file, which you don't really care about. We'll just swipe past that. That's the first thing on the screen. I'm going to swipe to the right.
M4 is ready to start. Record button.
So there's a little red record button at the bottom quadrant of the screen right in the middle. And if I do that, all I have to do is tap on it. We'll double tap.
Record.
Go, this is a test of the Easy Voice Recorder for the Zoom class, April 16th, 2024.
Resume.
Then I double tap to pause it. If I want to add something to that recording, I can do that too. I can say, okay, now I want to record something else. And this is good for dictating notes, but you don't want to do it all in one shot. You want to do it a piece at a time, and you can stop and go, stop and go. So I'm going to resume and do one more piece to it.
Resume. button.
I just double tap on the same button.
Resume.
Oh yeah, this is the second part that I recorded separately from the first part.
Resume.
And then I double tap and it's resume. Now, if you're done, you have two options. You can cancel the whole thing out, or you can what is it called? What do they call it? Let me just get down there.
Cancel. Button.
So there's cancel,
Stop.
stop. They call it stop, but it's actually stop means you're done and it's going to commit the change. It's a weird name. So I'm going to hit the stop button, which looks like a check mark, and the cancel button looks like an X. I'm going to hit the stop button.
Mm.
Stop.
Now, if I want to listen to that, I have to go down to the bottom of the screen. I'm currently on the record tab. I want to go to the listen tab, and it's a very simple interface. So let me go down to the bottom.
Selected. Record. Tab. 1 of 3.
So I'm going to swipe to the right and go to the listen tab.
Listen. Tab. 2 of 3. Selected. Listen.
Now it sorts it from the latest to the oldest. So the one I just did is right on top. And if I just want to hear it, I can double tap on it. So I'll do that.
Selected. Listen.
Oh,
Tab.
let me get up there again. Sorry.
Settings. Tab. 3 of 3.
Hold on.
Selected. Listen. Recording 100.
Got ahead of myself. But let me double tap now.
Listen. Recording 122 M4A. Yesterday at 1:05 p.m. 1.4 MB 2 minute.
I'm gonna go back, and then I double tap to pause it.
Confirm.
Revisit seeing AI and look at all the cool new features like object identification.
All right. So I don't know.
Pause. Button. Play.
Hold on.
Recording 123 M4A. Recording 100.
There it is.
The Easy Voice Recorder for the Zoom class, April 16th, 2024.
Dim.
Oh yeah, this is the second part that I recorded separately from the first part.
So what it does is it gives it like this,
100.
it gives it like a weirdo name, like recording blah, 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 M4A. If you want to call that like something like Zoom class, you got to go to the menu option on the same guy that I'm on. You just swipe to the right. So I'm going to do that.
Menu. Button.
There's a menu button right on the same
Action
line.
available.
I'm going to do that.
Menu.
What? Boy.
Recording 100.
I don't know.
Delete. Rename. Button.
So you got all these options. I'm going to do the rename option.
Rename.
Oh.
Alert. Rename.
Okay, and I'm going to go to the name field.
Text field is editing. Recording 123. Insertion.
Somebody's got a speaker on or
Um,
something.
Manny, somebody
My
click
goodness.
something.
Recording 123.
Okay, now I'm going to put in the new name. So what I did is I went to the text field and then I cleared the text that's there. It was like M recording, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to put in Zoom class, whatever. So I'll just put that in. So I'm going to dictate that in. Zoom class.
Inserted Zoom class.
And then I'm going to choose the button to rename it.
Clear text. But cancel. Rename. Button. Vertical scroll bar. Search.
Somebody clicking
Search
again,
Zoom
please
class
stop.
MPA.
I think somebody's either hearing aids or their phone is picking up the signal and it's feedbacking. So what it did is it renamed it to that. And the whole idea behind this app is ease of use. You can record really easily with one button, and then you can listen with one button, and then you can just get to the options very quickly without having to dance around the screen all over the place. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you with Easy Voice Recorder. And it's real handy for taking voice memos, and it's easier than the built-in app that comes with Apple. So any questions on that app, on Easy Voice Recorder? All right, I'm gonna keep going. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, here's one. This topic is something that Patty turned me on to. And I just started looking at that yesterday and today, so I don't have a lot of experience, but I wanted to let you guys know about it.
Somebody is still clicking.
Okay,
Please stop.
So you can go in there and
2024 is talking about using Easy Voice Recorder.
do it.
Which sounds like a really good app to download and use.
Okay, so
To record things.
what it's called, it's Uber Safety
Windows
Checkup.
10, which is going to not be
Let me get
supported
in here.
pretty soon, so if this
Listen,
guy has
heading.
10 on his computer, he needs to, I think about upgrading to Windows
Over.
11.
Go there.
Double over.
So the way you do it is you go into Uber.
Over.
Now, I don't know if there's one for Lyft. I'll look into that between now and next month. But you go into Uber and then you go down to the tab bar on the very right, and it sounds like this.
Account. Tab. 4 of 4.
You go into your account.
Select. Button. Close. Tap to switch profiles. Switch between. Got it. Button.
Okay, that was just a
That
nag
makes
screen.
sense.
So in your account settings, there's going to be a thing called Safety Checkup. Let's see if we can find it here.
Over 1. Safety checkup. Boost your safety profile by turning on additional features. Button.
So in here you have some additional features. So I'm gonna open that up and we can go through them. There's like 4 or 5 that might interest you. And at your leisure, what you should do is go in and then just set these to where you like. I don't have any set right now because I don't think I need them, but this would be the place where I would set them. And this would apply to all rides going forward. So let me open that up.
Safety checkup. Safety checkup. Close. Button.
All right, so we're gonna peruse this safety checkup screen. So let's go there.
Safety checkup. To help keep yourself safe on every ride. Review your current safety settings. Heading.
Okay, so let's go to the first thing.
Safety preferences. Choose and schedule your favorite safety tools. Button. Safety help. Learn how to get help during a ride. Button. Audio recording. Record audio during your ride so you can report an issue to Uber if anything unexpected happens on a trip. Button.
So this gives you the power to, like it says, when you get into the car and you begin the ride, your app will begin recording your surroundings just in case you need it. You know, it's kind of nice to have that. And there's more safety features than this. It's just, this is the first one. So let's keep going.
Trusted contacts. Choose friends or family so you can quickly share your location, trip status, and other details. Button.
So as it
Tap
says,
to open.
you can go in there and open that setting, and you could specify, you know, me, Patty, whoever you can trust. And when you take a ride, they can be notified that you're in a ride and you're on your way. There's even some better ones down the line here. Let's try to.
PIN verification. Secure your ride by requiring a simple code to help ensure you get into the right car every time.
So
Tap to open.
PIN verification is this thing where, like, I haven't tried this yet, but not only do you verify the car and you verify the license plate, or if you can't see, you could also verify a PIN number that's displayed with the driver. And if they have the same PIN number as you, then you're good to go. So you know you got the right guy. That's what that is. So let's keep going.
Ride check. Receiving automatic check-ins and help notifications if your ride goes off course or is disrupted. Button.
So that's
Tap to
obvious.
open.
It's obvious what that is. If you don't leave and get to your place within the time that's sort of allotted for that trip, this thing can come up and help you. So let's keep going.
Driver safety standards. Learn about our safety standards for drivers. Close. Button. Driver safety.
So that's about it. I would recommend going through those, and each of these options have sub options, and you go in there and you would turn the ones you want on and off. And then when you take Uber, you'll now be able to have a little more peace of mind and safety just in case. I don't think this is a problem. I haven't heard of it, but these add a little bit of extra safety to your rides. You know, so if you get dropped off real early, let's say you had a weird driver and they told you to get out of the car early and you didn't make it to your destination, these things would come into play and Uber could help you out, like even if the driver is weird. That's what these are for. This probably will never happen, but you never know. You never know. Some people are strange, and you want to be able to have recourse, and that's what this is. So I'm sure that Lyft has a similar kind of thing. So I haven't looked into the Lyft side yet, but I will for the next class if you guys are interested in that. So, any questions about the safety stuff from Uber, the safety checkup? All right, so we take care of that.
Uber. At Uber.
All
Clothing
right.
Uber.
So our next guy I have, I didn't order anything for show and tell this time, but I do have some keyboards that I want to show you for show and tell. So for those of you who have desktop computers, we have things called large print keyboards. If you don't have those already, these are really good if you have low vision. I want to show you one. I got it down here. Let me get it. Pick it up here. Here we go. Now, a large print keyboard, what it does is it lets low vision people easily spot the keys. It's for low vision, and it looks like this. If you can see, for the persons that can see, the keyboard itself has very large print and very bold print. This particular keyboard is a white keyboard with a black print on the keys, and it's got a mechanical kind of feel, like a bounce to it. It's not a chiclet kind of keyboard. These are great for accessibility because they give you good tactile response. And then, of course, you have the big letters. Another kind of keyboard that's really good, let me get the other one, are ones that are backlit. So you can have them big and you can have them backlit. Let me see if I can show you guys this one. Pull it up here. Can he show it to you? So it looks like this. And it has backlighting. So that's pretty cool. The light shines through the letters and around the letters, so you can see it better in darker areas. So that's what I had for show and tell were these keyboards, these large print keyboards. Does anybody use large print keyboards on their computers or no? All right, let's see here.
Well, the Zoom text keyboard is large print.
That's right. That's right. And they have different colors. They have black on yellow, black and white, white and black, just whatever is best for your eyes. And for low vision people, these are really great items to have, so. All right. So that's what I had for the show and tell piece was just, and you can get these at Amazon. Anywhere you get technology, you can pick up these keyboards, and they're relatively inexpensive, especially if you get a wired keyboard, which I recommend. You could also use, they also have them in Bluetooth flavors with large print, and so just whatever you like. All right, so let me go over here, and the next guy on the list is the PBS app. So PBS, I believe, stands for Public Broadcasting System, and they have an app
7:20 p.m.
that allows you to watch their content. So let's go in there.
Uber.
Let's go there.
Level PBS.
So the app looks like
Double tap
that.
to open.
It's kind of a blue icon with white whatnot in there. I don't know what it looks like, but it's blue and white, and it's called PBS. So if I open that app,
PBS. Top 10 shows today. 3 of 10.
so it comes up with a normal tabbed interface. The bottom tabs are as follows.
Tab bar. Selected. Home. Tab. 1
That's
of
the
5.
home tab. It's got all the latest stuff, recommendations. As you start watching, it curates this list a little bit, and then you can it's kind of like any other streaming app, the home screen. And then we have
Shows. Tab. 2 of 5.
strictly shows,
Finding your roots. Button.
or
Frontline. Button. Julius Caesar. The making of a dictator. PBS NewsHour button.
So all the classic PBS shows are there, and then you can tap on them and listen.
Tab bar, search, tab, my list.
Oh, search.
Search.
Search is the
tab,
third
3 of
tab.
5. Text field is editing. Search. Insertion point at start.
And you can just look for
Use
any
the runner
show.
to access missed.
You know, you can look for McNeil there News Hour. You can look for whatever, and it'll show up here, and then you can watch certain
Danny?
episodes. What's that?
Barbara, I'd like to look for Arizona Illustrated.
Okay, let's try that. I haven't looked for that before, but let's try it.
Text field is editing. Search. Caret.
So the good part about this is as soon as you hit search, the tab on the bottom, it opens up the box for editing and it's ready for dictation. So I'm going to dictate what Barbara said, and let's see if we can find it. Arizona Illustrated.
Inserted Arizona.
So here's one thing that I've run into lately when you're doing dictation. For some reason, Apple thought it was great to change it up a little bit. So you either have to speak it very fast because it doesn't give you much time to say spaces between the words. I was going to say Arizona Illustrated. I said Arizona, and then it cut me off as soon as any space, any time was detected between the second word. So to do this right, I'm gonna do it again and show you how you have to dictate to make this work. And this doesn't work the same way throughout the whole thing. Before we would do the 2-finger double tap, and then we would dictate, and then we would end dictation. Now, in some areas, you would do the 2-finger double tap to start dictation, and then you got to say it really quick, and then it automatically stops dictation without really
Yeah.
letting you know. So let me try that again.
A. N. Cat A.
So to dictate correctly here, to get it all in, I've got to do it faster. So I'm going to do that. Maybe.
Dictate.
Arizona Illustrated.
Inserted Arizona Illustrated.
So you got to have it about that fast when it's automatically stopping dictation. And I got to get a handle on this with Apple's accessibility line, because I really hate the fact that it just does it differently and we find out about it after the fact. So I'll want to contact them, and I'll put a pin in this and let you guys know if I hear anything productive on this, because I like to control when dictation starts and ends and not have it do it automatically, because not all of us speak at the same rate or the same cadence. And it really cuts us off early if you have to be putting spaces between things. Anyway, I put Arizona Illustrated. Let me search.
Search. Search. Profile. Button. Chromecast. No device. Arizona Illustrated.
And there it is. There's Arizona Illustrated. It's found one. And I think there's some other episodes below it. Let's see here.
Videos. 516 results.
So there it says there's 516 videos. We'll go to the first 1 or 2 so you can hear what it sounds like.
Arizona Illustrated. Bighorn Fire Encore.
Okay, and the next.
Season 2022, episode 811. 28 minutes.
Go to the next one.
Arizona Illustrated. 2023 Emmy winners.
Okay.
Season 2020.
That's how you locate them, and then you double tap to play them. So we're almost done with the tabs. So the first one was home.
Tab bar. Home. Shows. Tab.
Then the second one was just strictly their shows.
Selected.
We're on a
Search.
third one.
Tab.
That's search. The fourth one.
My list. Tab.
So
4 of 5.
my list is when you give them your information, they will create a profile, and then you can create your list. If you just come on as an anonymous user, which is what I am on this, they don't really know my name or anything else. They just know that I'm using the app. I can just look for stuff, but I can't create my list until I tell them who I am, and then they create a list of my name. So my list is not going to have anything in it if I'm not mistaken. Let me hear. So here it is. Let's see.
Sign in now to save shows and videos to my list. Access viewing.
So you got to sign up and sign in to have your own curated list that you want. That's how you do that. And then the last one.
Tab bar. My station. AZPN. Tab. 5 of 5.
And you can change the station that you're affiliated with. It's usually by where you live. So I'm in AZPM. That's it detected that with my location. So this is a good way to get content for free. Not all of it's free, but a lot of it is. And then you can you can have another way to get content to watch. And some of it's pretty interesting. PBS has always been a pretty good channel. So you should be able to get a lot of cool stuff on it. So.
Manny, they have the show Find Your Roots, and that one is not free, but it had a preview, and I tapped on the preview and it showed the whole show.
Oh wow. See, I didn't know that. That's great. So, all these things that we talk about, the PBS, Bookshare, Bard, these are all ways to get information, and we get it relatively free, which is just so crazy to me that we can get all this stuff for free. I think it's amazing. So, and PBS is just one of those guys that allows us to have that luxury. So yeah, all right. Is there any questions on this? Any more comments or questions on PBS? All right, let's see here. What's next? Oh, so the next thing is about birthdays. There's a few ways that we can put birthdays into your phone. Okay.
I need to look for the PBS app.
The actual best way, in my opinion, the way that's kind of recommended is that you create a contact and you go down to the birthday field and you specify the birthday there. Then they will automatically show up on your calendar every year as long as your contact is available. You don't have to worry about putting it in there or anything else. And then also with birthdays, you can set an alert time that's separate from other calendar events. So in the calendar settings, they have alert times. And one of those categories is birthdays. So what you would do is for your birthdays, you would set it back maybe like if you're going to get a gift for somebody, you set it back like a week. So you could get a present and ship it out, or you could order it from Amazon and have it drop shipped. And you have a whole week to do it. Where calendar events could be set, even if it's a birthday on a calendar, it thinks it's a calendar event if you do it that way. And that would be a different alert time. So I would recommend doing it on contacts, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's go into one of them.
7:29 p.m.
Okay.
PBS.
So the first thing you do is you open up contacts. Siri, open contacts.
Contacts. Contact photo and poster.
All right. So what I'm going to do.
Back button. Back lists. Back button.
I'm going to pick on Barbara. Barbara, you mind if people know? I don't need to know the year of your birth, but I'll put in.
My birthday's exactly the same as Patty.
Oh, really?
We were born.
Which is
I was born before her, but we're on the same day.
I can't recall Patty's birthday now I think about it.
Manny says mine is in May. So.
No, just kidding.
No, my birthday is November 26th.
Okay.
Search field.
So I'm going to go into
To edit.
into your
Search field.
guy,
Search field.
Barbara.
Is edit.
So Barbara.
Inserted Barbara. Search results. Barbara and Jim Cook. Barbara Lang. Barbara McPherson. Barbara Patterson. Barbara McPherson.
There's Barbara.
Barbara McPherson.
So what you do is you go into the contacts contact card, and you have to open up the contact card, and then you've got to go to this thing called edit, which is in the upper right hand corner. So do that.
Edit button. Done. Dimmed. Last name. Text field.
Now I'm going to skip all of Barbara's information, so I'm not putting it all on the internet. But what I'm going to do is go down to the birthday thing where that's at. So let me skip over all of this other stuff. Go down here.
Add related name button.
Let's see.
Add social profile. Add instant message button. Add date. Add birthday button.
So there's a thing called add birthday. So this is where you do that. So you're in the contact, you're editing, you go to add birthday, and then you double tap on add birthday.
Add birthday. April. Picker item. Adjustable.
So
Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
all you've got to do is pick the month and the day, which in this case is going to be November 26th. So with these picker items, all you do is swipe up or down with voiceover on. So let's see if I swipe up, what happens.
May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
So I got the month, now I got to swipe to the right to get the day.
Add related name.
Oops.
Button. November 16. Picker item. Adjustable.
So same deal, swipe.
Up or down with one
Do
finger
that.
to adjust. 15, 14, 15, 16, 7, 8, 9, 20, 20, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26.
So, and that's all you need. You don't have to put the year in. No, it doesn't care about when the person was born. It just needs to know when the anniversary of their birthday is every year. So if I hit done, that will commit Barbara's birthday.
Done. Button. Edit.
And Barbara will now appear on my calendar, her birthday on November 26th of every year. And if you go into settings, I'll show you that now.
PBS.
So if we go into settings.
Settings. Setting.
And let's say that I want to be reminded of all birthdays like a week before. I don't want to know 2 hours before, like my appointments that I throw on a calendar. I want to know for birthdays, I want to know like a week before. So let's go down to that. So you get down there.
Bluetooth. Rows 4 to 15 of general. Button. Home screen and app. Rows 13. Siri and search. Button. Battery. Button. Privacy. App store. Wallet and password. Mail. Contact. Calendar.
Right there.
Button.
So you go into the calendar settings.
Allow calendar to access.
We'll peruse these. There's a default alert times is what we're looking for. So
Accounts. Time zone override. Alternate calendars. Week numbers. Week view start. Show invitee to sync. All default alert times. Button.
default alert times. So we go in there.
Birthdays. None. Button.
So right now for birthdays, I'm not getting any notifications. That means when Barbara's birthday comes, I have no idea if it passed. But if I go in and I change that to something, let's say,
Birthdays.
and I double tap on that, birthdays. So let me do that.
Selected. None.
So my options are these.
On day of event. 9 a.m.
9 a.m. the day of her birthday.
1 day before.
1 day
9 a.m.
before.
2 days before.
2 days
9 a.m.
before.
1 week before.
So maybe 1 week before if I want to get a gift and get it to her in time. That's what I would do. So I'd select that.
Selected.
No, he's
1 week
talking about-
before.
And then Barbara and all other birthdays that I've put into contacts will be, I will know about them a week before their birthday actually hits. And then I can get them a card or whatever I'm going to do.
Birthday.
So, and to go with that, so once we're done, we'll hit the back button here.
Default alert times. Back default birthdays. Events. 2 hours before. But
So events I have it 2 hours before. Now, if I were to put Barbara's birthday through the calendar, not through the contacts, if I were to say something like, hey, S lady, new event titled Barbara's birthday, and then I would say yearly on November 26th, it'll create a recurring event on November 26th called Barbara's birthday. But on those guys, those are considered calendar events, and I would be notified via the events alert times, which is 2 hours before in this case right here.
all day events. 1
Right,
day
where is it?
before.
Right, no.
Events. 2 hours before. Button.
So these are events like calendar events, like your doctor's appointments and whatnot. But you can put birthdays in there, but I prefer myself, but you can do it any way you want. I rather use the contacts because that's what it's there for. And then yeah, but they both do the same thing. So that's kind of how you can track birthdays of your loved ones and friends. And then of course, if you decide to change your mind, let's say I don't like Barbara anymore, I don't care about her birthday. Well, I delete her contact. No, I just go into her
You
contact.
you block her. You
You
block
block
her.
her. No. I go into her contact and I would remove the birthday specification that way. You know. Again, you know, but you have total control of this. And what's good about that is that when you do that, your calendar is automatically updated. Automatically, her birthday events are removed from your calendar immediately, as soon as you hit save. So it's kind of nice to have that. So I would recommend doing that. The more you load information in your contacts, the better off it is, because that's kind of where their information belongs anyway. And it's all centralized and better. And you know, at least for me, that's my opinion. So any questions?
Danny, I
Yeah.
wanted to make the point, you have to, when you use the Siri lady, you have to say yearly on the date.
Yes.
Well, we
So-
made a mistake. We said yearly with the date, and that didn't work. It has to have the on there.
That's right. So for recurring events, you have to give it the recurring period, like weekly, yearly, monthly, and then you give it the day that it starts.
Yeah,
So
you have to
that's
say
how it
on
works.
whatever.
Yeah, and you got to use the word on. That's what we found out. So in the case of birthdays, you would say yearly on November 26th. And then that will be a yearly recurring event. And it's kind of really cool how that works, because you can do that with your voice, you know, so. Which kind of leads me into, let me see here. Yeah, that leads me into my next topic, which is a review of add, editing, and deleting calendar events. You know, we could go into
Oh,
that real
good.
quick. Let me get over there to that piece. Hang on. So like we just said, you can use the S Lady to add, edit, and delete calendar events, which means you don't have to open the phone to mess with your calendar. And I use the calendar exclusively for everything I do, including all of my personal life and all of my business. And I have never had a problem with the calendar app, not even once. I've forgotten to put stuff in the calendar app. That's been the problem, but the calendar app itself has never failed me. So I think that's pretty good. So when you're using the S Lady to, you know, to do your calendar, you can ask it what's coming up. You can also schedule new things. You can change things that are there. And finally, if there's something there that you need to remove, you can do that too. So let's do all of these. Let's find out what's going on my calendar this week. Okay. So you would ask her a question like this. Siri, what are my upcoming events for this week?
You have 4 events for today until Saturday. Today, you have 1 event. From 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., you have TSB Zoom class. Tomorrow, you have 1 event. All day tomorrow, Sun Trend Survey Test. On Thursday, you have 1 event. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., you have Mark Paulson at Ward 6 Tucson City Council office. On Friday, you have 1 event. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., you have Tucson Botanical Gardens. That's everything.
So you can query your calendar just like that, you know, and you heard my whole schedule for this week, which I thought was private till now. But you know, you could have it tell you what's coming up. And then let's say that I want to schedule something for Saturday. Let's say I want to add an appointment with Dr. Bob. That's my favorite doctor. Okay, so let me just do that. Here's how you add a single event for this coming Saturday. Okay. Siri, new event titled Dr. Bob this Saturday at noon.
Dr. Bob is scheduled for noon to 1 p.m. on Saturday.
And that's how easy it was. Hang on a second. Thank you. I have to remember she's still listening when I'm talking. So I got my Dr. Bob thing scheduled Saturday. So what if I want to change the time from noon to 1 p.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.? So this is how I do that. Siri?
Hmm?
Edit appointment Dr. Bob,
When should I schedule it for?
1 p.m.
Dr. Bob is scheduled for 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Oh, I did that wrong. Hang on, sorry.
7:40.
All right, so let's try that again. Take two. Siri, edit appointment this Saturday.
I found Dr. Bob, Saturday noon. What did you want to change?
Time,
When do you want to change it to?
1 p.m.
Dr. Bob is now scheduled for 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
Birthdays.
now-
1 week before. Button.
now if I want to delete that, so I've shown you how to add it, real easy, just one statement, how to edit it with very minimal amount of stuff. And I could have changed the title, I could have changed the day, I could do all that. I just changed the time. And now I'm just going to delete it entirely. So this is how you would delete a calendar event. So you go Siri. Siri.
Hmm?
Delete event this Saturday.
Just to confirm, you'd like to delete Dr. Bob, Saturday 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, it's been deleted.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. 1 week before.
Now I'm saying thank you not to be nice, because if I don't say thank you, she's still listening for the next thing that I want to do. So I say thank you to terminate the conversation. So that's how you do your calendar. That's probably one of the easiest things to do and the most bang for your buck learning, because why would you want to go type stuff in and dictate on a keyboard or on a text field? And you can even do recurring appointments that way. The only thing that changes is that you, instead of just saying a date and time, you would say the period, yearly, monthly, daily, whatever. And then you would say on, and then the beginning of the series of your appointments. That's all it is. So if it starts on May 5th, let's say weekly on May 5th. Well, then you would have May 5th, and then you would have May 12th, and then the 19th. It would put them in there every week, you know. And there's more to it than that. That's just a basic intro. You can specify even more stuff like every second Tuesday and all this, but you know, I don't know the lingo for that because I haven't tried that with my voice, but you can figure it out just by phrasing it properly, and she will understand, and she will actually you know, she'll take care of your calendar for you. So, any questions on modifying your calendar with just the S lady? All right, let's see here. Okay, so next on the list, let me close this stuff up real quick.
Settings. Apps with setting, closing settings, contacts, closing contact, PBS, closing PBS, closing easy voice recorder, 7:45 PBS.
All right. So the next thing I have on my list is the Seeing AI demo. They've added some new features in, and I've been playing around with them. So the two features that we're going to talk about is one is Find My Things, okay, and then the other is the document orientation. So in the first guy, Find My Things, it works a little differently than Be My Eyes and all these other things, all these other applications, because those are designed, like if you point it at something, it'll tell you what it is. But this thing in Seeing AI, Find My Things, is something that you can
Manny,
train it.
excuse me for a minute. Somebody is clicking again. Please stop.
Okay. So what you can do with Find My Things is you can train it to recognize something like you know, a purse. or a certain pair of shoes or your keys or whatever it is. And so let's talk about Find My Things first, and then we'll go into the document stuff next. So before the class, what I did is I trained it. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. So I trained it to find my keys. So sometimes we drop our keys on the floor. Sometimes we leave them somewhere. And with low vision or no vision, we really have no way of retrieving them unless we get a sighted person or we use something like FaceTime and have the sighted person look through your camera. Well, why not have it in the application? So what you have to do when you do a Find My Things is you have to have it recognize the object before you lose it. So before the class, I did it with my keys. I went in and I went through the recognition process, and it's kind of involved. It takes about 2, maybe 3 minutes total for you to recognize something. So for my keys, what I did is I went into Seeing AI, went to World. Well, let me just do that now. Let me show you.
7:47 p.m.
Let me just go in there right
Tuesday.
now. Siri,
Mm-hmm.
open Seeing AI.
Channel, short text, adjustable.
So I got it on short text. The thing that you want to go to is a thing called World. And that is a swipe up or down until you hear the word world. So let's do that.
Document, product, scene, preview, person, currency, world, preview.
So there's world. Okay, now what world does is all by itself. You can point it at something and it'll tell you what it is. Like let's see. I don't know. It's supposed to do it. It's supposed to recognize stuff. Oh, it's not doing it. Let me put a cup over here. Maybe it'll see that under the light. Let's see.
Cup.
Yeah, there it is. Cup. Okay. So when you point it around, it'll tell you objects that it's already programmed to recognize. But you can customize it to find stuff. And there's a button on the screen called
Actions, button.
Actions. So you double tap Actions.
Cancel, button.
There's a few actions on here, and we're going to go to the one that I'm talking about here, Find My Things.
Spatial summary, place beacon, button. Indoor navigation, find my things, button.
Find My Things. So you go into that.
Close, button.
Now, if I have things already defined, like keys, purse, wallet, whatever.
Pain.
Yeah, whatever it is, they'll appear in a list. So I'm just going to cut to the chase and find my keys. So I got my keys in my hand. I know where they're at. I'm going to put them over here on the side. I'm going to point the phone away. And then I'm going to bring the phone around and see if it finds the keys. And I'll move it up and down and all this stuff. So what you got to do is go down to the things that you've already taught it to recognize, which in my case will be keys.
My keys.
My
button.
keys. So if I double tap,
Actions available.
if I double tap on that, this is what happens.
Alert, find, button.
So you got one more step. So you can find,
Rename, button.
you can rename,
Cancel.
or you can just
button.
cancel it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my keys.
Find, button. Close.
So
button.
I will
Looking
take
for
two.
my keys.
Says looking for my keys. So if I move the thing up and down like this,
Ahead, 2 feet away.
there it is, right there, exactly 2 feet away. If that,
Ahead and to the right, 2 feet away. Alert, your object should now be directly in front of your device. Keep searching. Done, button.
and it gives you audio clues. So if this was on the floor, it would do the same thing. I'm not going to do it right now because it's just going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it down there, point it around, and as soon as it sees it, it's going to tell me. The recognition process, the learning process, it's kind of weird because I had to put them down And then I had to take the phone and it guides you through the whole process. Put it right on the top of it and then move it back like 4 times. And then it says, place it on a different surface. So I put them on the floor. And then I did the 4 times thing again. And then finally, the last time I put it on a chair and I did that again. So it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to actually learn what your keys look like. Because keys are really complicated. They can look differently just by the way I drop them. They might look completely different. So this is kind of a hard thing to do. But it accurately sees the keys wherever I put them. So it's kind of nice when I'm looking for my keys, I can just use my phone to scout around. This is good, like if you drop something under your bed or something and you need to just use your phone to look under your bed, you could do that and it'll see them. Because it's got a
Manny?
good camera. Yeah.
I have a question. What about the issue of needing decent light for it to detect objects? If it's stuck under your bed or something, how's it going to see it?
Well, I believe that seeing AI, and I haven't tested this, when it's doing this kind of stuff, if it detects a dark place, it'll kick on the flashlight automatically.
Oh, okay.
It didn't do it here. It's relatively dark here because of the setting that I have for this class, but I do have a desk lamp, which is providing enough ambient light for it to see in front of me. But if I were to do this like behind me where there's no light and drop the keys, just throw them back there and go look for them, I'm sure that the flashlight would come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
And like I said, you can do this for anything. It doesn't care if it's keys or shoes or purse,
Yeah.
earrings. If you tell it to recognize your earrings, that's a common one that we lose, right? I mean, drop them.
I drop grapes on the floor a lot. Would it find my grapes?
Probably.
I'm always dropping grapes.
I don't see why not. So
I can't wait to do my needles. I'm always losing my
Yeah.
crochet needles.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I misplaced my fold-up cane. I got a new system now, but if I fold my cane up and I put it somewhere, I can recognize it, and then I can look for it that way too. But a cane is much bigger and more tactile. If you reach down, you can feel it. But something like keys, they're hard to see, or a single key or something would be hard to find.
Well, I
Or
was
let's
thinking, oh, sorry. I was also thinking like your cat or your,
yeah,
if you
Yeah.
can't find your cat asleep
Yeah.
somewhere.
that's right. Absolutely.
Manny, it's
Mhm.
Annie. How close do you have to be to the object?
Typically, to get a 100% verified recognition, it does these sonic thing. It goes beep 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 beep, and then when it finally gets it, it throws up a dialog box. And I would say it was about a foot away, maybe a foot and a half away. That seems to be the sweet spot to where it can see things really good. But you could start it from a long distance and it might be able to spot something small. I just haven't tried that. And I know where the question's going and I think it's a good question, but I would have to try that out, like throw my keys across the room in a lit room, of course, and then point my phone and maybe they would see them over there. I mean, these are powerful cameras on these phones, so I don't see why it wouldn't work, but
Awesome.
yeah. So this is a very good thing. And this is seeing AI. And I got one more piece for seeing AI, by the way, if there's no questions about the Find My things. And if anybody has trouble with this, it might be a little hairy to do the first one. I'd be happy to consult on the phone with you or whatever. It's not that hard once you get it. So another thing they added to seeing AI is kind of document information. And one of those things is the orientation of documents. So let's say that you have some documents. Let's say you have some tax documents, or you have some documents that you need to return or you need to assemble together and give to somebody, but you don't want to give them some of them upside down and some of them right side up. You want to actually put them all in the same orientation. Well, seeing AI in the document mode has now got a more information option for document recognition. And it'll tell you what orientation the document's in. Because even if it's upside down, it'll read it properly, but you won't know it's upside down, but now you will. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to put this upside down. I kind of marked it because I can't really see it real well. So I got a document right here. It's some kind of mail garbage that I got, and I just picked one. I have no idea what it is. I hope it's nothing weird. So I'll put it down, and then I'm gonna go to document mode, and then like we did before with the menus and stuff, I'm gonna recognize them just the same. And we're gonna go into this new thing that allows me to see what the original orientation of the document is that I scanned that I brought into the phone. So let me do that now. Let's see here.
Home, calendar, Tuesday, April.
All right. Siri. Siri.
Hmm?
Open Seeing AI. Okay.
Seeing AI.
All right.
Channel, world, preview,
All right.
adjustable.
I'm currently on World from the last thing we did, so I got to get back down to Document. So I'm going to swipe up or down. I think it's down to go back.
Currency. Person. Scene. Preview. Product. Right and bottom edges not visible.
I'm on Document.
No edges visible.
I'm going to raise it up.
Bottom left corner not visible.
I'm going to raise it up some more.
Top right corner not visible.
Raise it up.
Hold steady. Processing.
So just like we did and all of the other recognitions, shake and bake and all the things that I did before, same thing. So I don't, it just I don't know what it is. We'll just have to play the first part of it.
Ever wish your next home sale could check out these similar, dear homeowner. Ever wish your next home sale could be easy?
Okay, so it's somebody that wants me to sell a home. So what I want to do is I want to go in and find the option that allows me to see what orientation is that page at right now relative to the phone. So I'm here in front of it and I got the phone scanning it. Is the bottom of the page towards the bottom of my phone, or is it upside down? So let's see here. At the very top is where you're going to find this. So you go up here.
Page 1 of 1, heading. Add page.
You can add a page.
More, button.
That's the button you want, more. You do that.
Alert, page info, button.
So it's page info, I believe. Let me see what the next option is.
Rescan current page, button.
No.
Page info.
So we're gonna do page info.
Alert, page info.
Okay, we got a little alert box. Let's see what it says.
Original scan orientation, up. Okay, original scan orientation, up.
So I guess that means it's okay.
Right side up. Yeah.
Right side up, yeah. It's not upside down. So what happens if I do it the other way?
Button.
What if I turn it around the other way? And then I rescan it again. What will it give me now? Okay, so I'm gonna go into this page thing again.
More, button. Alert, page, rescan current page.
I'm gonna rescan current page.
Rescan, no edges visible.
I gotta keep raising it up,
Hold steady. Cancel, button.
And just like
Take
before,
picture, more.
go to the
button.
more button.
Alert, page info. Rescan, page
Page
info,
info.
button. Alert, page info. Original scan orientation, upside down.
Now it's upside down.
Alex is telling you upside down.
Yeah. So that's how that works. And you know that the page that you just scanned is upside down. And plus the contents, because it can read it upside down, it's no problem. So,
Excuse me, somebody's making a lot of noise again.
Okay, button. More, button.
okay. So that's it for the Seeing AI demo, the new stuff. Does anybody have any questions about the Seeing AI application?
It's a wonderful tool. I love
Yeah.
it.
It is wonderful.
Yeah.
It is
I
wonderful.
love it.
And I'm trying to have it do different things. If anybody has any ideas about what I should get it to do, please email me or let me know. And I'll try to include it in one of the classes. If it's something you really want to see if it can do, let's challenge the technology. Why not? And then you get your question answered, and you know, you can see me fail in front of everybody, or we can get it going either way.
Mhm.
But at least we'll know either way. So, all right, well, that's great. All right.
Calendar, Tuesday.
Actually, the shoe thing that I did earlier was inspired by Patty, because she had to use it to identify some shoes. Like, oh, that'd be a great thing for the class. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
Seeing a closing, seeing a.
No, whenever I see a pair of shoes that I like, I'll get them in different colors, and then there is nothing, you know, to identify them. So this time I label my brown ones with a little dot inside the shoe, a tiny
Mhm.
little dot on both of them, and now I know they're the brown ones.
Yes.
So that was
Yeah, I
pretty
think it's
good.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a lot of shoes and you get them mixed up, I mean, that's a real bad situation, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's see here. Let me see. I think my next one is another AI kind of thing. We're just going AI crazy in these classes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we talked about this once, but we haven't gone into this particular option. There is Chat GPT, which is this whole AI, part of this AI revolution. And there is a voice mode where you can have a conversation with not just type stuff in and hear an answer, but you can actually talk to it and it talks back. So what I'll do is have a quick conversation with it in front of you so you guys can hear what it's like. Now, the funny thing about Chat GPT is they use different voices than what's on the iPhone. They got their own voices for this. So it's going to sound different than the S Lady when I'm talking to it, and you'll know right away. So let me do that first. Let's go in there.
8:03 p.m.
Come on.
Calendar.
Okay, so if you haven't got the app, it's called Chat, CHAT, and then the acronym G as in goat, P as in Peter, T as in Ted, GPT. Okay. So here we go. Siri, open Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, new message, text field, is editing, insertion point at start.
So
Use the rotor to access.
you have the option of the classic type into it and hear the response. But what they've added is a button over here. Let me find it.
Switch to voice mode, button.
Switch to voice mode. And what that is it's going to be, I'm going to ask it a question, it's going to answer, and then it's going to listen for the next question. So, all right, so let's do that. I'll ask it some easy stuff real quick.
Switch to voice mode, button. Speak now.
Who played in the World Series?
Which year's World Series are you asking about?
Speak now.
This year's World Series.
I'm sorry, but I don't have access to real time. Could you please specify the year you're referring to?
2022.
Speak now.
In the 2022 World Series, the Atlanta Braves faced off against the Houston Astros. The Braves emerged as the champions, winning the series 4-2.
Speak now.
Who was the pitcher for the Braves in that game?
In the 2022 World Series, the Atlanta Braves had several pitchers who played throughout the series. Do you have a specific game or pitcher in mind?
Speak
No.
now.
No.
Got it. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know about the World Series or anything else.
What color was George Washington's white horse?
George Washington famously rode a white horse named Nelson.
Speak now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or if there's anything else you'd like to chat about, just let me know.
Resume button. Start speaking. Pause. But close button. Voice.
So what you gotta do is you gotta navigate to the close button to have it stop listening. But it's just basically like a conversation thing, kind of like the S Lady, but a little more interactive. And it's not perfect, obviously. It doesn't have the latest data, but I think it has data from a year back, going all the way back, and you can ask about historical events and things like that. So it's just another option for this Chat GPT. And they're trying to emulate human conversation. We got a long ways to go, but it's not bad. So any questions on that, on Chat GPT voice mode?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna move on to the next thing. Then. Let's see here. Okay, what I wanted to talk about, when you get an iPhone and you're looking for a case, this may sound very simple, but it's not. iPhone cases are very important because they not only have to protect the phone, but they have to be designed to let the phone dissipate heat and not block ports and microphone areas and speaker areas. So if you get a case that fits, but it's not specific, you may be blocking a microphone hole. If a case fits too tightly, meaning that it doesn't allow the phone to breathe at all, can't be loose either, but it's got to be able to help the body of the phone dissipate heat. You know, you want to get the correct case for your phone because it'll last longer. So typically what you're looking for in a case, for protection, you kind of want a good quality case like the one I have on this phone. I bought this from Apple, okay? And this case runs about $20, $30. Not real expensive, but not cheap. But it's got protection for the camera area. It's got a ridge here so that the camera lenses never get in contact with the surface. It's got very sturdy plastic which will absorb shock, but it's not like the rubbery plastic that hugs the body and doesn't let heat out very easily. And then it's got a nice ridge over the front, so you can grab your phone and have a ridge to rest your fingers on without it going onto the screen. This is important. And of course, if it falls face first, this ridge will protect the screen protector and the screen from anything that it hits because the ridge is going to be the first thing that comes in contact with the ground. So it's very important to get a case that's made for your phone, that's made of durable, good plastic, and that has a little bit of a lip in the front of it where the phone sets in a little bit. A phone that sticks out above the case or is even with the top of the case, that's not a good option because that leaves the front of your phone vulnerable, even if you have a screen protector. Sometimes a screen protector can't protect against everything. But a good screen protector in a case like this will keep your phone very secure. It'll keep it relatively cool. And all of your microphones and speakers will work and your ports won't be obstructed. And the phone itself, even without the case, already has good protection. But the case adds that extra protection because if you spend $500 or $1,000 on a phone or even less than that, it's a kind of an investment. It's a computer, and you want to protect it with a good case. So anyway, that's the way that works. And if you have like an iPhone 12 and newer, you've got to make sure you get a case that's MagSafe compatible, so you can put your MagSafe devices and magnetic connector devices on the back that they work. Kind of like let me find my little charger guy. Like this is a MagSafe charger, this little silver dollar looking thing. And there's a magnet on the back of this, and it should sound like this when it goes on. Well, it goes on and it sticks.
Charging 89%.
It sticks
Double tap
magnetically. So you want a case that's compatible with that. If you have an SE, you don't have to worry about that because you don't have MagSafe. But if you have the other kind of phones, you need to have that. But the same applies for the SE. You want to get a case that's made specifically for your model. whether it's second or third generation, and make sure that case is snug and it's durable. So that if anything happens, it will absorb the shock and not your phone. Any questions about picking cases? And
Do you have a certain brand you think is the best?
I can put it in the notes.
Okay.
Where I can find, but the one I got, when I bought this phone, this iPhone 14, I bought it about 8 months ago, I guess. I bought the case at Apple, and I did that because, this thing's pretty expensive, and I didn't want to go cheap on the case, save $10, $20, and then my phone breaks the first time I drop it. So, but I will put that in the notes where you can find the cases, and you can just look for your model. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
And that noise is continuing. That
Yeah,
scratch
I
tapping
think
noise.
it could be somebody's hearing aids very loud. They could be picking up on the thing, but I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me, but I don't know. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, one thing I haven't talked about very much is FaceTime. And FaceTime is a great way to contact your friends or people that you need to contact. It's got a very good quality, and you can do what's called group calls, which is really nice. Like if you have a group that you get together for whatever, yoga or just to talk, and you can't like drive there or get together. Well, you can group call on FaceTime. You could say, FaceTime call Barbara and Patty, and it'll place a call to both. And then the three of you will be on a FaceTime call. And each person can choose whether they want to enable their video or not, but you will have audio for the call. Kind of like this whole Zoom thing that's happening, except in a smaller way. And FaceTime allows you to have up to 30-something people on the call. And it acts a whole lot like the Zoom software. So I think it's a really good tool to have. And once you call somebody, it stores that group list. So if you want to call them again, you can just tap on it. You can go into FaceTime, you can tap on the Patty and Barbara, and then it'll make the call to them, and you can have another FaceTime call with them. With the S Lady, you can just instruct her to call whoever or call this person and that person, and it'll do all of that. So I urge you to use FaceTime when you can, whether you need it just to do group calling, or if you need a sighted person to help you find something. Let's say if Seeing AI or Be My Eyes, you have trouble finding your keys, you can have somebody, a friend of yours with vision, you can call them up on FaceTime and they can use your camera and switch your camera over, and you can start looking for stuff, and they can tell you if they see it on your camera. That's what FaceTime is really good for that kind of stuff. So try it out and call your friends on it. You don't have to just place a phone call through your cellular carrier. You could actually do a FaceTime call, which you're going to be very surprised at the quality.
Yeah, it's actually real clear.
Yeah, and the video quality is good too. And even if you're just doing it over cellular, the video quality is really good for cellular. But just be warned that it will eat a lot of your data because that's streaming video. So you're better off doing it from your home where you have a broadband network. But FaceTime audio calls are very conservative as far as using bandwidth on your internet. So that's kind of cool. That's what I'm thinking. So, all right. Anybody got any questions?
But everybody has to have an iPhone, right?
I think it's being opened up to the rest of the world, but right now I think it is FaceTime. They're working on a way to have it communicate with non iOS, iPhone, iPad users. And I think there is an app out there already, but that's a good question. I'll have to look into that and put that in the notes. I should have had that answer for you, but I thought they were
Maddie.
working on something.
Maddie, they have to, my sister has an Android and she has to turn on something on her phone in order for me to do the
FaceTime?
FaceTime call.
So it is possible.
Oh.
It's just something, yeah. Well, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
But it's a wonderful tool, and it's really great for like it's basically the same as Zoom, except it's free,
Yeah.
and it's got all of the bells and whistles. So, but yeah, definitely use that, and it is available on your iPad as well. So that's the good thing. If you want to use your iPad and see more than just on your iPhone, you can see a bigger video. You could do that too. So. All right, any questions on FaceTime? All right, so let's see here. Let's see what the next guy is. I think this is Amazon. So I wanted to go over maybe how you can send a gift on Amazon. Not a gift card, but let's say you buy something for somebody and you want to send it as a gift, but you don't want to wrap it and you want Amazon to send it for you. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but it's a very nifty service that they do. So let me show you how that's done. So we're going to do this in Amazon.
8:17 p.m. Face ID.
Okay.
Chat GPT. Calendar. Tuesday. App chat closing chat GPT.
Okay. So what we're going to do is going to open up Amazon.
Amazon. Amazon. Whole Foods.
And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for something. I have a family, a member over in El Paso that I want to buy a book for. So I'm going to look for that book. And then I want to send that book as a gift. Okay. So I want to show you how that's done. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for the book.
Search Amazon.
And of course, this could be anything. This could be anything at all. Clothing, whatever Amazon sells, you can do this. Okay. So I'm going to do that now.
Search Amazon. Search Amazon.
World Book of Records.
Inserted World Book of Record. Search. Search. Back. Button.
All right.
Guinness World Records. Link.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to my cart right now. So I go to the add cart thing.
Guinness World Records 2024.
Go in there.
Cover with text. Back. Button. $15.69.
All right. So I go in there. That's the one I want. Hang on.
Guinness World Rec page 2 of 20. Add to cart.
I'm adding to cart. So that's done.
Add to shopping cart.
Okay. And then I'm going to go to my cart.
Tab bar. Cart 1 item. Cart now has 1 items. By Guinness World Record. Guinness World Records 2024.
It's in my cart. Okay. It's $15. So let's say that I want to go ahead and send that. So what I would do is I would go to
Proceed to checkout.
Proceed to checkout. This is where you do that. Now I'm not going to complete the transaction. I'm just going to show you how to fill it out. Okay, so here we go.
Proceed to checkout. Cancel button.
So of course you got to verify your prices.
Items. $15 shipping and $0 estimated tax $1 order to 70 delivery 8,219 change delivery address add delivery and free pickup.
You better make up an address.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
bullet 1.5 bullet tax free pickup add delivery change delivery at 8,200 delivery to $17 order total.
Where's the gift thing?
Place your order.
It's here.
Look up here. Link. Paying with Visa. Change payment. Use a gift card. Arrive in April if you order in 3 hours. Details. Thursday. Free Tuesday. Free sustain. Change the Guinness World Record. 15. Free ship. Ampersand. Free return. Ships from Amazon. Sold by Amazon. Quantity 1. Change. Quantity. Add gift. Place your order. Add gift options.
So it's way at the bottom. I thought it was at the top. Sorry. So we're gonna add gift options. That's what we're doing.
Add gift options.
So when you're in the checkout screen, you go to add gift options. So we go there.
Guinness World Records 2000. This item is a gift. Checkbox. Check.
So I'm saying that this item is a gift. So we're gonna keep going down.
Gift message.
So I can specify the gift message. I'm not going to do all that here. I'm just going to tell you what it's asking for and what to expect. So the message would say, "Hey, happy birthday. I hope you enjoy this book. Blah 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 blah." Okay, and then that would be the message. And then
203 characters, middle dot, 8 lines. Gift message. Enjoy your gift from Manuel Celis Jr.
and you can put it from
TSB.
whoever.
Buyer.
If it's not from me, the purchaser, I can stick a name in there. I could say it's from Patty instead of me. And then
Add-ons. Wrap in a gift bag. 100% recycled. $3.99.
so and add-ons are services
To toggle set.
are services they add to your gift. So gift wrapping is $3, which is a pretty good deal. When if if you ever wrap a gift, being visually impaired, that's not an easy thing to do. So you would add that in, you would check that box, and then we would keep going.
Wrapped in a gift bag. $3 and not email the recipient a copy of their gift receipt after the gift is delivered. Checkbox.
So you can email them a receipt if they want to return it. That's what that is.
Recipient's email address. Tim. Next field.
And then
Use the
of
rotor to add.
course, if you're going to email a receipt, you got to put in your email address.
Submit button.
So once I do that, if I were to submit that, I would have to put in a new delivery address for shipping. It won't come to me. I'm going to have it dropped, shipped, and wrapped. So I would go back. Let me just do that.
Back button. Back button. Cancel. But paying with Visa 1,580, 8,200. Delivering to Manuel Celis Jr.
So delivery to, you would have to change the delivery point. Because what I just did now is I said I want to make it a gift, I want it wrapped, and I want a receipt sent to that person. But now you got to put that person's shipping address in the shipping area. So once you do that and you completed the other stuff, you hit go, and it's going to ask you, when do you want this thing delivered? Of course, you probably want it delivered on the birthday, so you would put in a birthday or the day before, and an Amazon would attempt to deliver it on the birthday as a gift, all wrapped, all paid for, ready to go. So that's how that works. I didn't actually do an order because I don't want to order one and send it, but that's how it is. That's how you do that. So are there any questions on sending gifts, items as gifts in Amazon?
No.
Oh, no, okay. All right. Let's put that.
App switcher. Amazon. Closing Amazon. News.
Well, let me get back over here. There's
8:24 p.m. Uber Eats.
So one thing I wanted to talk about with you guys is your battery in your phone, just real quick, okay? So everybody knows what your battery level means, right? When you ask Siri this question, Siri,
Uh-huh.
what's my battery level?
Battery is at 88%.
So my battery is at 88%. So what that means is that I have, just like you think, my battery has 88% charge in it, meaning 12% of the charge is gone, and I have 88 left to go through. But there's a second number that you don't know about that's just as important about your battery, and that's called battery health. And I won't go into the big minutia about it, but you need to know what that means. So let me go to that. So you have to go to settings and then battery. So I'm going to do that now.
Calendar. Tuesday. Settings.
Settings.
Settings. Bluetooth. Rose 4 to 15. General. Control. Homes. Accessibility. Wallpaper. Standby. Button. Period. Face I. Emergency. Exposure. Battery.
Battery. Okay. So we go to battery.
Battery percentage. Switch button.
Now, in your battery settings, you're going to have a thing called battery health. Let's get down there.
Low power mode. Switch low power mode to battery health and charging. Button.
Battery health and charging. Okay, so let's go into that.
Phone batteries, like all rechargeable batteries, are consumable components that become less effective as they age. Learn more.
So what they're saying is as you
Maximum capacity.
as you use your phone, your battery over charging and discharging will wear out over time. Now, luckily, it's serendipitous that the battery is really engineered to last about as long as the phone will receive updates, which is about 7 years. You typically you'll lose about 10% of your battery health a year. Like mine has been about a year, and let's see where mine's at. Let's see here.
Maximum capacity, 86%.
So my battery is down 14% from when it was new. So what that means, that percentage is not a measurement of how much juice you have in your battery to use. This is a measurement of time. So for example, when you bought your phone the first day and you filled it up to 100%, let's say that you got 100 minutes out of that, just for easy math. You get more than that. Now, if this number changes to 86 in the next year, when I fill my phone up again, and this number is 86, I'm only going to get 86 minutes of use out of it instead of 100. Okay, that's what this means. Well, I can fill it up all the way, but I'm not going to be able to use it for 100% of what it used to be. I'm going to use it for 86% of the time, whatever that is. So when you got to monitor this, because if this number gets too low, if it gets down to about 30 or 40, you're going to be recharging your phone every few hours because your battery's not going to be able to hold the charge. Now, the reason I brought this up is because there's ways around this. If you turn on battery optimization, that's going to help keep the battery, the life of the battery is going to be longer because it's going to gently charge instead of forcing 100% all the time. And even on the new iPhones, they have a thing on there that says don't charge past 80%. And you would think, why would they do that? Because you lose 20% of your capacity on a daily basis. But what it does, it prevents you from wearing the battery out anywhere near as fast. Your battery could last much longer if you never charge it past 80%. But that's only available on the iPhone 15. It's not available on any of the ones we have, unless someone out there has an iPhone 15 already. But you have a switch on here that says max out to 80%, and it'll never charge past 80%. And that will keep your battery life going a lot longer. However, there is a price. You don't have on a daily basis the battery life that you would get if you let it charge to 100%. So there's always you don't get something for nothing. But it's cool that you can at least know that. What's that? Okay, so
Manny, mine says I'll charge the ultimate battery. It always says that when it's already charged.
I don't know what that means, huh? I'd have to look that up. I don't know what did it say again? Tell me that again.
It says ultimate charge. I think. I'll show you.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what the battery health is. The health is where your battery is in its life cycle, not whether there's 100% in there or not. So that's a very important number to look up. Like if you're buying a used iPhone, you want to check the battery health, because if you buy a used iPhone for less than a new one, you want to go in there and say, "Oh, how's the battery? Is it at the end of its life? Because I'll have to replace that too." And that could be an upcharge of $100 or $200 depending on where you take it. So you just always gotta keep that in mind. So, any questions about battery health or anything I said about with batteries?
Manny, you can get a new battery at Battery Plus.
There you go. So there are remedies. So like if my battery goes down the dumps by the end of the year and I'm down at 50 or 40%, I'm probably going to go visit Batteries Plus and have them swap it out for a new one. Because I use this phone a lot for everything that I do. So that's why it's down so much. So I have, if there's no more questions, I have one more little topic real quick, because we are at 8:30, unless you guys are asleep already. I'll go into it real quick here. Let me just see.
8:31 p.m.
So my last and final
Settings, battery,
guy,
button, battery, back, battery.
let's go back here.
Settings, back, settings, heading. Standby, button.
Thing called standby in the settings. And what standby is, well, let me just have it tell you what it is.
Standby.
'Cause I'll butcher it.
On. Standby will turn on when iPhone is placed on its side while charging to show information like widgets, photo frames, or clocks.
So when you put standby on, it's meant to be kind of a nightstand kind of thing. You put it on its side, and then it will show you whatever you've configured. If you don't configure anything, it'll show you like a calendar in a very black background with white letters, very dimmed because it shouldn't be bright at night. And then it'll have like a clock on the other side. It'll be kind of like look like the face of a clock radio. And of course, you can customize what's shown there, weather and all kinds of stuff. And with your MagSafe guys, you can mount them magnetically and you can put them horizontally and they'll stay, because the magnets are so strong, it'll hold it real steady. If you have a MagSafe phone, like an SE, if your charger supports you putting it down on its side flat, it'll go into standby mode because it will know the orientation of the phone. It'll know it's charging, whatever it is. Even if you plug charge it, as long as you stand it up on its side, you'll see standby mode kick in. So, and it only kicks in if this setting is set to on.
Standby, switch button, on.
I wonder if I can get it to come on.
Double
I don't
tap
know.
to
Let me
toggle
see.
setting.
I got a little charger cable here. Let's see if we can get it to come up.
Charging, 87%.
Let's see if it comes
Double
up.
tap to
No,
open
it doesn't. I think it knows better. So the thing is, when you have it at night and you're on your nightstand, that's when this stuff comes up. And there are a few other options below I won't go into right now. If anyone's interested, I can expand on this, but that's called standby mode. It's in the front door of settings, and you just turn it on if you want to see what it does, and you turn it off if you don't like it. So that's basically what I had tonight for the class. So are there any
Good.
questions about anything that we talked about?
Can't wait for the notes.
Yeah. I'm gonna be busy tomorrow between doing the checking of that that survey thing for Sunvan, and then doing the notes. I'm gonna be pretty busy. So I'll try to get the notes out within a day or two max. So I'll let you guys wait. Well, you guys
Okay.
have been good tonight. I don't know what to say. Good questions. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. If not, I think unless Barbara has any objections, I think we're kind of finished for tonight. I don't know.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
I'm
Manny.
gonna
Good night,
kill it.
everybody.
Oh,
All
I
right,
guess I
thank
don't
you,
have-
John.
Thanks, John.
Good night.
Night.
Right.
Night, night.
iPhone has left the meeting. Alt F4, Zoom meeting, participant list, news arrow key to map, Alt F4, leave meeting button.